What's up with the weird matching hoodie scarf things?
Don't ask. Just drive. Alright, so to get started, we are going to be using this yarn here. This nice chunky yarn from Bernat. It's the Bernat Softee chunky yarn. It's 100% acrylic. And it's in the color Gray Rose. So we're going to start off with this yarn. We're also going to have a 9mm hook. And for this pattern, it's quite beginner friendly. So yeah, you only need to know one type of stitch, which is the double crochet, and I'll show you that later. So to start off, you're gonna want we're gonna want to make 120 chains. So to make a chain, you're gonna want to put your hook onto your yarn, or make a slip knot, put it onto your hook. And then we're gonna want to chain one. So to make your first chain, you're gonna wrap the yarn around the hook and pull it through like so. And right there is your first chain. And we're gonna want to do that 111 more times to get 120. So again, gonna wrap your hook around the yarn, pull through the loop, and now you got 2 chains right there. 1 chain, 2 chain. Okay, and you're gonna keep following this until you have 120 of these chains. $1,800, $1,920. So now you should have a chain that's 120 chains long. So it should look something like relatively like this. So now is probably the most crucial part of the pattern. So we're going to want to make a circle with this yarn. So we're gonna want to connect this end here with the end we started with. So we want to make sure that the ends are being tied together, facing the same way, like so. Because if we were to do it backwards, then our pattern, then when we're making our stitches on top, it's just not gonna look cohesive and the same. And it'll be easier to track if it were stitched the same way. So in order to stitch it together like so, I'm gonna put our hook back in the loop we just finished. And we're going to attach to our first chain here. And we're going to make a slip knot and just stitch it together like so. All right, so now that you have it connected, we're going to want to make double crochets all throughout the circle. So we're gonna want to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to want to double crochet in where we just made the slip stitch, or in other words, just where we connected the 2 ends of the chain. So to make a double crochet, you're going to want to yarn over. So I totally made a mistake when filming. I don't know, I had a brain fart or something. So I showed you guys how to do double crochets wrong. Throughout the project, it's right. It's just when I was explaining how to do a double crochet, it was not right. So I'm just gonna chain a couple or a few chains. Okay, and then going to, okay, so we're gonna put a double crochet in this guy here. So what you're gonna wanna do is yarn over onto your hook, put it through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, we'll do it again in this next one here. Okay, yarn over, put it through the loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yeah, so for whatever reason, I explained it wrong and then also showed you how to do it very incorrectly. So this is how you're supposed to do it. All right. And yeah, let's get back to the tutorial. And you're gonna wanna continue doing that all throughout your project. And another tip that I usually do is whenever I come across the end of my, what's the word? Well, the little piece of yarn that always sticks out when you first start your project, I always hide that within my project. I always incorporate it into my project or into the knot that I'm about to make. So how I do that is I'll start off the stitch I'm going to do, and then when I put my hook through the loop, I always put it through and then keep the extra strand there, kind of keep it with the loop so that when I pull through, that extra strand is already incorporated, and that way you don't really need to weave in your ends at the end. So see how this strand is now part of the stitch, just like so. So I'm going to show you that again. So yarn over, put your hook through, make sure that piece of yarn is staying with that stitch. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So double crochet again, yarn over, put your stitch or put your hook through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And just continue making double crochets all throughout the project until you get to the end here. Okay, so now that we're coming up on our last stitch right here, we're going to want to just double crochet as normal. And then when you pull through 2, you're going to want to stop right here because we're going to be changing colors. And in this case, I've got Lion Brand's yarn here, and it is also chunky or super bulky yarn, and the color is in dark cherry. So I'm going to take some of this guy. In order to switch colors, again, maybe I'll just show that once more. Going to want to start your double crochet like normal. So yarn over, pull through 2. Then what we're going to want to do is we're going to pull through our new color. Going to pull through, and then with our new color here, we're going to double crochet into that first stitch, or first double crochet stitch right here. Just like so. And then, like that trick I showed you in the beginning, we're going to essentially hide this extra thread into our stitches. So yarn over, put our hook through, make sure that piece of yarn is still there so that we can hide it amongst our stitches. Pull through, whoops, gonna pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, the hook through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're gonna keep doing, and we're gonna want to keep doing this again until we reach the end here. So just double crochets all the way through. Okay, we're coming up on our last one again, so we're going to want to double crochet, or start our double crochet. And then for this round, so what I noticed in Enid Snood was there is one, I guess one row of colors, and they look like they're interchanging or they're just different. So I got this yarn. Post a picture of what kind it is, or a video in that corner of like what it is. I threw away the label, so I don't remember. So to make this next row, you're gonna want 2 separate balls of this yarn, or skeins of this yarn. And the reason for that is we want to double up this yarn. So we're essentially going to be making our own chunky yarn by combining 2 medium worsted yarns. So this guy is a medium yarn. So we're going to be crocheting them both together as one. So for this next one, so again, let me do that again. So we are double crocheting in our last stitch here, yarn over, pull through 2, and instead of yarning over with that color, because we're changing, we're gonna want to yarn over with this guy. So there's 2 pieces there. Gonna want to yarn over like so. Then once you've got your new color on your hook, we're going to double crochet like normal. So put your hook through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, we're trying to hide the stragglers within our project. The stragglers over here, these guys. We're going to try to hide those within our project. Pull through 2. Yarn over, through 2. Keep making those double crochets. And we're gonna keep making those double crochets in this row until you get to the end here. And as you can see, since we've doubled up this yarn, it's about the same thickness as our first two bulky yarns. Yeah, so that's why we doubled up. If I could have found a yarn similar to this colorway, then I would have obviously chose that one if it came in the number 6 yarn, the super bulky, but I couldn't, and this was the closest color I could find to that was similar to that of Enid's, so I decided to just double up, and it gives off the same kind of the same thickness that we're going for. So again, just keep double crocheting along here until you get to the end here, and then I'll show you what to do once we get there. Okay, now that we're coming up on our last stitch, again, we're going to start our double crochet, and then we're going to bring it back to this color here. I believe that's the, what is that one called? That is the gray rose. So we're gonna bring back this gray rose color, and we're going to switch colors like we have been doing every single round. So pulling through this color, and then starting again our double crochets. Pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, we're going to cut off the last yarn that we were using. And then we're going to go along and make some more double crochets and hiding in the stragglers within our project, within our stitches. So again, this is just my interpretation of the project. Of course, you can use any colors you like to make this project. I wanted to make it as close to the colors that Enid has in the show as possible. Again, you can use any colors, any type of yarn, but I do suggest that you go with the super bulky, the number 6 yarn, if you're going to make this. Not only does it look like in the show that they use a super bulky yarn, but it is warmer and it is a little comfier when it is super bulky, and it does whip up quite fast. And again, we're going to make double crochets all along this row. So essentially we're going to keep on doing this pattern of double crochets per row. So you're going to start off with well, you can honestly start with whatever color you like, and then you're just going to keep following your color pattern until you get to 20 rows. So you're going to want to keep doing your pattern until you get to 20, and then at 20 you should have something quite thick, thick enough so that you can use the snood essentially and make a hood out of the snood. So if you find that 20 isn't thick enough for you, you can always increase the amount of rows. I found that 20 was the perfect amount, perfect thickness, so that it covers my head and it keeps me warm. So that's why I'm going to be doing 20 rows. So like I was saying, you're going to want to keep making double crochets and switching in between rounds until you get to 20 rows. And then after we get to 20 rows, it's time to make the pom-poms, and I'll show you how to make those. Okay, so once you get to the end of your project, you're going to put that last double crochet in, and you're going to finish off, and you're going to snip your yarn, pull that through, and then you're going to want to weave in your end. For 20 rounds, you should have something that looks like this. Somewhat looks like that. All right, and now it's time to make and attach the pom-poms. All right, so it's time to make the tassels. I keep calling them pom-poms, but they're actually tassels. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get a piece of cardboard, anything that's laying around, and we're gonna want to take this yarn or any other matching yarn that's a weight 4 worsted. What we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna wrap this around 20 times. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna snip off this here, right there. And then you're gonna wanna leave that to the side and make sure it doesn't fall apart. And then we're gonna wanna take a piece of the yarn and we're gonna wanna sneak this guy underneath. Will be just wrapped around the cardboard. And from here, we're gonna tie a knot. And you're gonna slide that off of the cardboard. Now you have like this loop. And then from here, you're gonna want to cut the end. So then now you have this tassel. So you can end it off here, but I like to finish it off because it doesn't look quite finished. So what you're gonna wanna do is I'm gonna wanna cut another piece of yarn. And we're going to make a little bobble here. So how you're gonna do that is you're just gonna take this extra piece of yarn and wrap it around. Make sure it's tight. Maybe double knot it to secure. And then we're gonna want to pull those ends through so that the bobble is as bobbly as possible without any stragglers. All right, and we're gonna cut off this here. And now you have a tassel. And then from here, what you're gonna wanna do is you're just gonna wanna attach these onto your scarf anywhere you like. And also too, what you could do is you could trim the ends. Sometimes it's not as even, so we can trim the ends to make it more even. So you can make as little or as much as you want, or as little or as much tassels as you want. I will probably be making 6 of them. So I've got 2 right here, but I'll go ahead and make 4 more, and then honestly you can attach them to anywhere you like on your scarf, or sorry, your snood. But I'll show you in the next clip where and how I attach them. And now you are done. So of course you can switch out the pink colors for just straight black, and you can make a Wednesday inspired snood if you like. And then for the tassels, it would just be black yarn and white yarn. yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.